there.
Okay, hold on. Now we're live. Okay, we are live now. So what did you say, Colleen? And I want to welcome both of you, Colleen and
Bridget.
Welcome. So Colleen, you said something that was quite interesting.
I did? I don't know.
Yeah, you said look at the education.
Well, Bridget is a humble soul, and she was brave, and I love that she's accompanying Amy. And she probably stated more than she wanted to on camera, and I was just pointing out to her that, look at how much it benefited people, and we are going to carry this on and pass it on. How much education people got because of her appearance that day. Every single instance of this happening, Bridget, Amy, Tommy, it's bringing to light. Light is the best disinfectant. And so even though it was difficult, it makes you a heroine in a way. And I just wanted to say thank you. And I appreciate it. And even if
so kind,
my daughter learns from you, even, Bridget.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Let me ask you, Bridget, do you have anything that you would want to drop? Because we have around 30 people.
Oh, boy. Well, I only talked about this incident for the first time ever. I told Amy a couple days ago, the day before Speaker's Corner. That's the first time I mentioned it since it happened to me when I was 29. So it all sort of came back to me kind of recently due to watching a documentary on the BBC. I won't mention the documentary, but I literally saw the people who were in that house in the documentary.
Wow.
And it all just it hit me like a brick wall. And but I haven't talked about it before because I was also told I was not allowed to talk about it or I'd be killed and my family would be killed.
I see.
And most importantly, there is no way I'm alone in this. I'm sure this is happening to lots of girls. So to talk about the grooming gangs and referring to vulnerable women, this is happening to so many more women who have stayed silent as I have.
Definitely. So you're basically sacrificing for the sake of the cause, I guess.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm a lot older now, and I would. This religion is very dangerous, as you've clearly pointed out. They have a certain mentality and an attitude towards women, and just with such an increase in that religion in our countries, we are really putting our girls at risk, and that's not just vulnerable ones. That's every single one of them.
It's what do you say, Colleen, about what you have seen earlier on in the previous broadcast? And I would recommend everybody that's listening right now to see the previous broadcast, because we went through and broke down basically many of these claims and just showed how basically we are being deceived.
I think something important to point out, which I plan on, you're giving me ammo for my visit with my sister who lives in San Diego, California, and she's a wonderful, she's a saintly woman. I've always looked up to her. She's 7 years older than me, a great Catholic woman that devotes a lot of her time to volunteering, but she has made a point of joining a welcoming committee, I guess, for lack of better words, for Muslims, refugees. And she and I have been at odds over President Trump and whatnot, but I don't think she knows the facts. And you're pointing out exactly, this is not extremism. This is the religion. It is not, you don't have to be an extremist. This is what their Quran, which would be our Bible, does not teach such things. And I want to point out, I've seen a few people throw out the idea that priests have done things. Oh my gosh, the Catholic Church has done horrible things, but that is the humans. Humans are so full of fault. That is not the faith, and the faith does not teach that. The faith of Islam does. It teaches horrendous, awful things, and that is, if they go by the basic religion, it is not being extremist. That is, in fact, what Islam is. That's what I learned.
Yeah, I would argue the most fundamental aspects of the religion. I know plenty of more moderate Muslims who behave very, very well. They're more westernized, and they are not a problem. But the more the extreme fundamentalists come in, then we really have a problem.
So, Bridget, do you think, though, the ones that are more moderate and westernized, is there then a chance or an opportunity for them to learn how horrendous the fundamental Muslimism is, and to have them see the light? Is there a chance? Because, Simon put up that chart of people that are all for Sharia law. That scared me. What are your views on that?
Bottom line, whatever it says in the Quran and in Sharia is the rule. So, and I suppose the men I was brought to were actually quite westernized. So I guess I've just defeated my own argument.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I want to point out is when I was living in Kuwait, I was quite protected there by because people knew who my father was, and we always were accompanied by Muslim men, so we were protected, and that's the way it is over there. So we were very protected. It's when you're on your own, and they don't have any connection to your family or your friends. There's no connection. Then you are completely vulnerable.
Yeah.
So I was safer in Kuwait.
Bridget, can you explain, was this in England? I'm so sorry, Simon, I talked over you. Was this in England that this happened?
Colleen, I would ask you to not ask that question, because I don't want her to give more information.
Yeah, I better not answer that.
I think that's enough. And anything? No, it's so fine. And also things about your father. Don't tell us more about that. I think that it's enough that we know about this. And I think your question, Colleen, is fine. It's just that sometimes we just limit this. We all have different experience, different wisdom on this topic. Okay. So it's fine. Your question is fine. I just don't feel comfortable.
I guess that was more the goal was in asking. It was not a Muslim Middle Eastern country, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It was not. No, it was a Western country.
Yeah, and I would, the main question to ask is, when shit goes down, where will the peaceful Muslims side with? Is it those with the West or with those who preach jihad and quote Allah? And I am quite convinced that, and I've listened to a lot of ex-Muslims as well, that they think that most Muslims will side with Islam and other Muslims, because that's what Islam teaches. If shit goes down, So I think that, first of all, we have to decide that we don't want to risk our kids' future. That's very important.
Yes.
And your ancestors gave this to you, and you're gonna give this to your kids. So it's a generation promise of generation. Basically, you don't have the right to break this promise. So you want to make sure that you don't risk your kids' future to something that you're not really sure. And I'm here to tell you, the Islamic mentality is that all of the world will be under Sharia. That is the Islamic mentality. Even peaceful ones understand this, because they cannot go against Allah. Maybe they will not actively do it, but when others do it, they're not in a position to discount that, That's a little bit hard to accept. But ask anybody. I mean, we have a Muslim here, Coco Coz. Coco Coast, my question to you be, do you want Sharia law to be all over the world?
Was that to me?
No, we have a correct person in the chat. Coco Coast, do you want all Sharia to be all over the world? Let's say it's peaceful way. Do you want it to be all over the world? Would you wish for that to happen?
Bridget,
Coase. I just want to make sure that he has the chance to respond. Do you want Sharia to be all over the world, like Ibn Kathir said and the Quran said? Let me just open the one. I just want to show you that why should non-Muslim countries have Sharia law? Well, Muhammad said so in a prophecy here, and I want to make sure that you see this. Quran 8:39, as well as in the Hadith. So in my broadcast, you cannot trick infidels. It's in front of your eyes. 8:39 in the Quran says this: fight them until there's no more fitna, which means disbelief, polytheism, or corruption. Basically, everybody has to worship Allah, and the religion will be for all. Of all will be for Allah alone in the whole of the world. So whole of the world means everywhere. How would you respond to this, Mr. Coase? It's in front of your face. And Coase, it says it should be all over the world. How would you, this is concerning war, they are, no, it's saying all over the world. Even Ibn Kathir explained this. I'm sorry if I just jump from one topic to something else, but I think it's important. 48:27, Ibn Kathir says, let's open it up.
Bridget, you're not able to see chat, son?
I just got in now.
Oh,
okay.
Okay,
nice.
My computer's dead.
Here, Ibn Kathir in Quran 48:27 says this. The good news is that Muslim will conquer the known world and then ultimately the entire world. The hadith is in war. No, it says the entire world. Do you see it? So I need you guys to see this as well, that we don't just, trust people like that. This is the doctrine. This is God telling them this. Do you think I'm being a little bit? No, I'm being quite fair. So, Mr. Coase, whatever your name is, if I'm misspelling it or misspeaking it, do you agree with Allah saying this? Yeah, I know, Miss K. No, it's not true. So, is he wrong? Is he wrong? Is Muhammad lying? You're making no point. Well, I guess this is how it is discussed with Muslims. It says, Bridget, can you see this for yourself? Yeah. And Colleen as well? Can you see what it says?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's playing games, No Muslim want to conquer the world and have Sharia law. That's not what I asked. I says that Islam would conquer the whole world, and that would be Sharia under the whole world. That's what the text says. Do you agree with it? You're reading a sentence of the whole chapter. We can read the whole chapter, but the conclusion is here. Oh, well, of course. Discussing with Muslims is very, very difficult. It's very, very difficult because they don't even adhere to the basics, Jesus kill all his enemies. I'm not here to discuss Jesus. Don't jump from one topic to another. The West Earth. So this is, I'm not talking about Jesus. I'm here to discuss basically what Allah promised. So I guess that we won't have more from this guy. He doesn't agree with Allah and Muhammad, basically. So what we're discussing basically was, should we entrust our kids' future with people saying that they're not extremists? But what about when shit goes down? Will they follow their prophets and their God, or will they side with the West? And I think that's a question that we should all ask ourselves. Maybe there's no answer here, but if 60, 70, 80% of the Muslim world wants Sharia law, if we have proof of that, in peacetime, right?
Mm-hmm. And they've basically sent in an army.
Yeah. I want to ask him,
so this is
sorry to interject here. I want to ask
go loose.
Couscous, if that's why he sees so many Christians blowing up buildings and yelling Jesus and blowing up people. Is that such a problem?
Yeah.
I don't know what he's citing from the Bible, but to kill, that Jesus said he'd kill everybody that didn't follow him. Show me where that's happened.
Yeah, that's typical Muslim discussion. They always try to throw out a bait to not respond to the question here. But sure, if you want to respond to her question, feel free to do that. I don't want to stand in the way of good conversation. Do you want to respond to her question, Coz? Deusvold. Deusvold, do you want to respond to her question? Where do Christians do whatever you claimed? Read your Bible. No, where do Christians do this? It's important. Yeah, it's distraction, of course.
That's not Christians that are blowing up other countries. That is government. Those are humans that are not following the Christian faith. Or when they are following the Christian faith and protecting others. But we don't always support that. So that has nothing to do with the Christian faith.
So let me read a passage here. This is from the Hadith Tirmidhi. So I want you guys to see this. It says like this. The Messenger of Allah said that indeed that Allah gathered the earth for me. So he saw the east and the west, and surely my ummah, which means Muslim community, will have authority over everything, basically. And here is a commentary explaining this text. And I think seeing this is quite important, all right? This is just a summary. So everybody should be able to see this one right now. It says like this. This hadith just means a report. This hadith is explicit on the point that there should come a time when Muslims will rule the entire world. Do you guys see this? Mm-hmm. Can you see this? Maybe there's a delay. All right. So, Colleen, you can see this as well?
Yep. Yes.
Yeah, it's deception. This is professional liars. They might have been deceived themselves, but when I show them evidence, they should be truthful, right? So I'm giving evidence, chapter, how to find it, but this is how they act. So this is the doctrine that I'm showing right now. And now he wants to speak about America. He won't even address what I'm showing right now. Waste of time. But I want to thank you guys for participating in this conversation. Especially big thank you to Bridget for giving us material and giving me permission to do this broadcast.
Thank you.
And I hope that you know that this is not in vain.
Thank you so much. You did a really good analysis. I was pretty terrified doing that, and of course regretted it straight afterwards. Then to have it broadcast everywhere, but it made me feel like maybe there was a reason for it.
Bridget, rest assured there was. Please have faith in that.
Thanks, Colleen.
Yeah. So, Bridget, I want to let you go now because I know there's been a lot of things you have taken. So have a rest and please stay in the chat if you can. And if you got to go, you got to go.
Okay, I am going to sign off. I'm feeling a bit shaky right now, actually. Yeah.
Yes, okay. Yes. So thank you for being here. I wanna make sure that Colleen is staying here.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, later. Much love.
Stay strong. We love you.
Yes, and I want to open up the line if anybody else want to join me and Colleen in our chats. Miss K, the line is open if you feel comfortable. Anybody else is welcome as well. Couscous, you can call in as well. Couscous, call in. Yeah, join. We'll be friendly to you, you know. So I want to tell you guys, there's some technical difficulties here. When I speak, there's a certain delay. Colleen will hear me in real time, but the rest of you, you will hear my voice a little bit late. So it will sound like I'm speaking over someone here. So we'll be like 2-3 seconds late. So it will sound like I'm speaking over Colleen. But there's a delay. So Colleen, he will hear me. Colleen, she will hear me in real time. But for the rest of you, you will hear my voice a little bit later. But you will hear her voice in real time. So I apologize for that. I will see how I can fix that. Call in and join us. We will continue the conversation, but we just want to make sure that you guys know about the opportunity to call in. But Colleen, let me ask you something.
Okay.
We're dealing with a death cult.
It seems to be spreading. I don't understand why it's spreading so.
What have you accepted?
Oh, Couscous says he does not talk to liars. That's interesting. All the most, the people I respect the most are those that actually go on, media sources and whatnot that actually they disagree with for the most part. That's true bravery. If CNN would have me on, I would. It's kind of that kind of shows a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's very telling.
Yeah, and why would he not want to participate in this conversation and clarify the point of Islam? If you think that I'm misrepresenting Islam, here's a good way to the opportunity to actually clarify the points of Islam and correct me. So I would say that that's more a weak person speaking, right. And I'm okay with him not participating.
Educate him.
And Speaker's Corner is in a mess, but what we are seeing is Westerners are fighting back now.
Well, I wish they would more, because I'm a little, being in California, it's a little different. Like I said, my sister thinks it's the right thing to be on the welcoming committee. In fact, there's a funny story. She invited a new family to her house. I want to say it was around Thanksgiving time, because she wrote about it in her Christmas newsletter thing, but they showed up 6 hours before they were supposed to, and very uncomfortable. Nothing was ready, and it was awkward, but she loved to boast about, and then put a picture of the family that they took to the beach. And I'm all for treating a human with dignity, and of course, as a nurse, I also serve illegal immigrants and a lot of Medi-Cal folks, and I figured, they're in our state. I want them to be as healthy and whatnot part of our, a great part of our society as possible. So that is what drives me to continue with the job I'm doing. But she gets very angry about this, quote, Islamophobia, that she does not seem to understand what exactly the base of the faith is about. Kind of scaring me. So I'm glad that you see Westerners fighting back. I just hope it catches on.
Yeah, Americans are fighting back. There's no doubt about it. Half of the population understand that there's something wrong with this cult. In Europe, I would say maybe it's 30-40%. It's not really half. It's maybe 30%. So, we are definitely not at the same point, I would say. But we will mature, and I think when we're doing worse, I think that will help us mature, even faster. America is, I think, the last stand. So hang in there, And sometimes I wonder, is it personality traits that will predict what kind of political view you will have, left/right? That's quite astonishing. What do you think about that? Is there personality traits that will lead to what political side you choose?
Well, perhaps, but getting truth out is going to make the biggest impression. That's why I so support your periscopes and those of, in all areas of politics. I support the media that is risking and putting their life on the line to tell the truth, even if it goes against their own political party, including Republican, because a lot of pro-Trumpers are also taken in by certain.
Yeah, definitely.
So
truth is basically what we should be directed by, and if it's uncomfortable truths on our side, we should still embrace that and try to basically design solutions based on observations.
Yes,
right?
And we keep saying, we can't say it enough, light on topics that are uncomfortable, even if it goes against what our party says or support for a certain candidate or whatnot. It is the best disinfectant, and truth will set everybody free. And it's, gosh, if you only knew how frustrating it was in California. All my dear friends they're facts that, the funny thing is facts are objective. So I sent, for instance, an informational, completely fact-based periscope to a friend of mine yesterday, and she came back with, well, that's your opinion. I said, well, wait a minute, what's the opinion there? So, and she's the one whose son actually, so this is interesting, Simon. Her son, born and raised in California, married a Muslim woman from England, okay? And she is like the man of the family. She rules the household. She's a very difficult daughter-in-law for my friend. And he's kind of what we call a wimp. And I said, I should send him this so that he knows he can smack her. I mean, she's ridiculous. But anyway, we're all about inclusive here in California, no judgments. I mean, I think we all judge. Judgment is okay. It's okay to judge a bit.
Yeah, we all do it. I mean, Jesus says you can judge, but judge righteously, So just make sure that you're clean. So whatever you judge with, you will be judged with the same,
I deserve to be judged. I've done plenty of. Every day.
Yeah, we all judge. Judge just means that you make an evaluation. That's all it means, So I mean, let's not play over holy. I mean, we're supposed to judge. Just judge righteously. Don't be unfair, Yeah. So yes, he can beat the wife. So I have it in front of me here. That Prophet Muhammad said like this: women have become emboldened toward their husbands. So the prophet, gave permission to beat them.
Well,
beat them hard. Beat them where it hurts.
Did she really just say that the female in this Muslim household rules? It's odd. I know. It is. But she also does other things that are more I've never met a more manipulative person. And that I really don't know any other Muslims. So I have to admit, I do not know anybody from the Muslim culture other than her, and now her husband.
Okay, so it's not linked to Muslim culture. I'll just explain this to you. So I told you I'm not white. I'm an immigrant myself, but my loyalty is basically with the West. And what did Jesus says, or is it? So I'm learning this. So I'm still a student. So I don't really know how to quote this thing, but we are supposed to be citizens of heaven. You know what I mean? Have you heard this? I think it's Paul saying this.
Yes. I'm sorry, I keep muting. So
the true of life, the word of life, and then we're supposed to be citizens of heaven. So basically, we live in this world, but we're not supposed to live in this principle of this world. We should be free from them. That is the Christian teaching, right?
Yes.
Right? Okay, so it's a collectivistic society versus an individualistic society. I'll repeat it for those who missed it. It's a collectivistic society versus an individualistic society. And one expression of that could be that if you go on a vacation, let's say you go to Turkey, Egypt, or you go to a society that's not individualistic, and they go to a market, and then you're going to buy something, and you think, I'm going to buy something, it says $20. So you got $20. But when they put $20 on the sign, they actually think $10. So what they include in that is a bargaining, process. So if they get you to pay $20, that's perfect, But when they say $20, they will say, or you should say, oh, I want to pay $5, and they were like, no, 15, and they will say, $12, and you will say 8, and they were like, all right, just take it $10, as long as you pay it from now, as long as you pay and buy it now, and then they're gonna play like they are hurt, and then they get the money, which was the price they were thinking from the beginning. So it's built-in deception. This is normal in collectivistic societies.
I'm picturing my day trips to Tijuana with your that's exactly what it's like. But yeah, I get it.
But in the West, we think like if it says $20, it's $20, So it's a little bit clash of civilization, and the one that will benefit from this is those who have a mentality of deception, because they will play on people's niceness, So
and that's what people do.
Yeah, that's what we are seeing right now. So she's being manipulative, and she's playing with his niceness until he explodes.
I missed the very beginning. Did that man that was talking to Bridget, did he admit that he was a convert? I didn't see that.
Yeah, I know he's a convert because he says that quite often. And he's using a lot of shady techniques. He asks a question, and when the person is about to answer that, he asks 4 more questions, and he just overloads you with questions, And then when you doubt, he's like, "Oh, you're wrong. You know nothing." So he just play this power game. So it's shady rhetoric. That's what it is. And I've seen this pattern quite often. I think she did well.
Yeah, Islam seems to fit him well.
Yeah. But yeah, it's we shouldn't be we shouldn't be that feel down and like that from the result that we're seeing right now. More people are waking up. Right wing is being more and more popular in Europe. It's we're still in majority position. So I always tell that we're still in majority position. So have patience. That's what I tell people. And the worse things get, the more people will become mature. So I'm not promoting this.
I'm blown away by how much I've learned from you the last couple of weeks, Simon. I really am. I'm really blown away. And I've copied and sent off via email quite a few of your scopes to people I know, but you guys, everybody needs to be retweeting this stuff. I mean, if this is this way in England, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump from exploding here. So if anything happened to President Trump, we're in some deep trouble.
Yeah, the agenda of Trump is already being raised, and and the base is already woke. So it's not about Trump anymore. It's about the agenda, and there's enough people that will vote on someone who will have the agenda of Trump or who will support the agenda of Trump.
People are blindly following Trump without sticking to the agenda is what I don't. And I know this is not a political show. You're teaching us about Islam, so I'm not going there. I just want to say that, please, buyers beware. Trump needs us to root for his agenda and help fight the deep state from certain decisions he's making. He needs us to support the agenda, not what he campaigned on, because there's still a lot of shady characters around him.
Yeah, No, I definitely agree with that. That we got to make sure that he stay true to what he said, and if he deviates, we should help him to realize that, stay true to the agenda, or else we won't support you, and that will keep him hopefully um, in line.
He's gonna lose a lot of supporters if he continues with this Syria business. I've already seen it, and it's not just me. And I wigged out a little bit overboard, and I said some things on Twitter I'm not erasing because I don't want to do that. I'm honest, and I'm gonna stand by what I posted before. But I was that angry, and but I was more angry at the supporters that didn't stand up for the Trump agenda. And I guess I'm just encouraging everybody to not be fearful of standing out and disagreeing, and not just quote following trust the plan. I'm sorry, I'm very leery of this Q. It's really seeming to look like it's a deep stater. I don't know.
No, I definitely agree with you. The Trump spell is broken for me. I don't trust him like I did blindly a little bit earlier. I did not trust him blindly because I was one of the people that were actually calling him out. So I'm quite disappointed on Trump because I did not expect this. So I will support him when he do great things, and when he do shady things, I will call him out. So I definitely agree with you that we got to help him stay in line to the agenda. And the spell is broken for me.
They're human beings. Priests are human beings. Bishops. Trump is.
Oh no, the account was okay. The call was broken. I think it's 45 minutes, something like that. Oh no. All right, so it was shut down. Yeah, I did not see that one coming. All right. Yeah, Colleen, I'm sorry about that. I think it was shut down because, and his ties to Saudi don't sit well with me. Yeah, he shouldn't cuddle with Nazis or with Saudis, God was telling me I was boring people. No, you're doing fine. I think that you put your point across in a good way. So I'm so proud of you guys. I think we're doing so well. So I will wrap up this conversation, and let's keep up on the good community and the good movement that we are creating here on Periscope. So what I will do on this broadcast right now is I will shut down this part. Thank you, Colleen. I will do this. I will shut down. Can I ask you who's your guest? Oh, Colleen, can people follow you? It's a good fight. Yeah. Thank you, Colleen. And thank you, Bridget. So can people follow you? If they can you type 1? So thank you, Bridget. Can people follow you? Just type 1 so people have the chance to know how to find you. Yes. I rarely scope. No, it's so fine. I mean, you share good broadcast. It's up to you. If you don't like that, it's okay. But type 1 if you want, if you let them follow you. And yeah, we share. I mean, follow Miss K shares killer broadcast. Type 1, and Bridget, if you feel comfortable, people can follow you as well. And I will end this broadcast by showing this disgusting video one more time. I'm sorry, but here it comes. And thank you everybody for participating. I'll catch you soon. Islam is the way, the light. No one comes to Allah through except Islam. All right, I think you're copying Jesus, but thank you for trying. All right, bye-bye.
So why should I cover that up? Islam is telling me I should cover up. Aha! That's the point. Let's deal with that one first. There's a A and a B to this. That was A. The girl is saying she's beautiful. Well, to who? To who? And if you need to go down the street and show all your beauty to everybody, why? What are you trying to troll for? What are you trying to catch on your hook there? What's going on with your life? Do you need everybody to look at you? Because if this is your case, maybe you should get some counseling before you get in trouble. Because when women walk down the street half naked, they get raped, they get hurt, they get abused, or they wind up in relationships with people who only went after them for what they thought was physical beauty. And by the way, you've heard the expression, beauty is only skin deep. Well, by the way, it doesn't take long for people's skin to change. When people start getting older and start sagging and getting wrinkles, all of a sudden, she's going to be thrown out in the garbage. We have a country full of people been thrown in the garbage after they didn't have those so-called good looks anymore. A lot of them wind up on drugs, hanging out with the wrong people. And drugs don't take a long time to destroy your looks, do they? Not at all. If you doubt what I said, just go out here tonight. I'm sure you got streets close to here. You can go out tonight and see all that you want. Really, really ugly. Islam is protecting your beauty. And you're showing your beauty to the right one. Who should you be beautiful for? If you're a girl and you want to show your beauty off, who should it be for? Your husband. Why somebody else's husband? Were you trying to make that girl upset and jealous with you? Is that how you get your happy mood come to you off of that? Huh? So Islam is showing you your beauty is to be protected from people who don't need to see it. But you want to show your beauty around your home, your family, your husband, and sure, that's right. But the problem we have in this country is the women want to put all of her stuff on and get all the face is made up, the hair is made up, and get out here with almost being dressed, not quite, and go down the street. And strangers, total strangers going, hey, baby, all right. What's that? What is that? You see these guys, right? They consider they're not even manly if they can't, check out the girls, whistle at them, touch them, pinch them, things like that. And they don't realize that this is nothing. This is absolutely nothing. It's so superficial and it's trashy. If that is your idea of beauty, then you need to redefine. You need to go back to the dictionary and think again, what is beauty? Because true beauty comes from a person who is humble and kind and sincere. A person who is thinking and using their thinking process to benefit themselves, their family, and their society that they live in. This is something beautiful. One who suffers and sacrifices for the sake of their beliefs. One who's willing to stand firm on what is right and righteous. Not somebody that's willing to take off their clothes and walk down the street thinking that's going to get something going on. If that's your concept of beauty, you need to go back and start all over again. Because it's ugly. To me, the most beautiful women are those who cover themselves. Because then I can appreciate them for who they are instead of what they are. And there's a big difference. You don't, the same poor lost souls who run around like that are the same ones who say, I don't want to be treated like an object. Islam is the one protecting you from being treated like an object.
Took off their pants, they took off their miniskirts, they wear the long robes down, the headpieces. They're just like the Muslims in America, and they follow him through his word. So what I'm saying to you is what I have heard, what I'm saying, I don't know who I'm influencing until they themselves stand up.
What's wrong with miniskirts? What's wrong with hot pants?
Well, see, this is a European design thing, but righteous people, you go to Saudi Arabia and tell a woman to put on miniskirt. Go to Zaire, Africa, and have the women put on short dresses. They'd be fine. They're locked up. Go to Pakistan, or go to all throughout black Islamic Muslim countries. Number one, I have a wife, and she's walking around with a skirt up to here. And then what's happening? Well, why do I want everybody to see her? What's the man? People looking and winking, they lusting for her, all kind of freaks and no good people on the streets. Why do I want my wife? She came bent over because the panties show if the wind blow. Show the behind. Cows and animals and mules. Human beings don't walk behind out. Savages walk around with the behinds out. And my wife's behind ain't for every man to look at. You understand, sir? It makes a lot of sense. So how can I protect my woman if I'm walking down the street, she's half naked, and some sadist run up and grab her? Hell, I shouldn't have put out there. If I got merchandise I want to sell, I put them in the window for you to see. So if I want my wife, why do I want everybody to see my wife? What's private? What's mine? Everybody looking at her. Which means what's wrong with it? How can you have a wife or somebody you love? Anything God made precious, nature hides it. You cannot find diamonds easy. You have to dig and dig and dig. And then you got to work to clean them. You cannot, you cannot find, listen, you cannot find gold. Everything God made valuable, He made it hard to get. Pearls, rubies, and ain't my oil. You have to dig, and half the time it don't strike. Everything God created that was valuable, He made it hard to get to. Ain't my woman more important than some diamonds and some oil and some gold when she's the field which produced my sons and daughters? Why should she walk around all nude in all of these design clothes? Her breasts is out. She's on the beach wearing clothes that show more than her panties when she go to bed. That's right. People don't just might as well come out with a brassiere on and her panties. She'd be more covered up than she do in the European style with just something covering up her nipple and just a little old G-string over, and she's walking out on the beach naked. These are savages. How am I have my daughter, my wife, or my woman walking around for her man? Ooh, look, I could do. Boy, if I could get to her. And what I want that for? She's mine. What do you mean, what's wrong with walking around half naked? That don't look bad to you because you're of the European nature, and the black people are righteous, and the Europeans have made them unrighteous.
But look, I mean, before you go on, there are lots of black tribes who nudity is their dress. They walk around naked. There's nothing wrong in that either.
They don't look at it like you do, and I don't know enough about them. They were savages.
They're not savages.
Yes,
there's some
savages.
we were all savages at one point.
They were savages, and we don't style after them. You're talking about the ones who went out into the jungles and started living a beach-like life. We know all about the history of Africa and how it started and this and that, but there are the civilized people there too. And these are the ones we pattern. I want you two people to stand up and take a bow to show you how women dress and how my wife
Sure,
dress
that'd be
and how women
interesting.
look.
Let's look at that.
Because the sisters stand up who've been converted to our movement in America. This is where our women dress.
Can we put the lights
These are women right here. Do that look bad to you? Ain't that beautiful? And that's the way the black woman should look. That's the way she should walk around. That's the way our women look. They are sisters who were converted through the Muhammad Speaks newspaper. These are thousands and thousands and thousands of women in America. In every city, you'll see this take place in the day. You understand? They're clean. They serve God, Allah. They don't serve some English clothes designer. They serve God, and they're proud of it. And what's wrong with that? You ask what's wrong with a miniskirt? What's wrong with that?
There's nothing
what
wrong with that.
man wouldn't want his woman covered up? He can go to work knowing that she ain't somewhere flirting. Some man chasing down the street for her behind part. What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it.
Nothing.
No.
So there's something wrong with that, though, showing it all.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
You don't think there's wrong with it?
No, not at all.
You don't?
Not at all.
That's because you're white.
That's
because your nature's not righteous.
No, listen, it's not because I'm white and you're black. I mean, that's nonsense and you know it.
Your nature is not righteous.
How do you mean my nature
is
not
righteous? You said you don't mind your woman walking half naked.
You're making some incredible assumptions about me.
You tell me you don't... It's the truth. You're telling the world on television...
Have you got the priority on the truth? Yes, you know the truth more than I do?
The truth is that you don't mind your woman walking around half nude.
Sure.
You don't mind it?
No, of course not.
Well, then that means you're not righteous.
But look, let me put a point to you.
Half nude?
Let me put a point.
And you're a Christian too?
Let me put it. No,
Christianity shouldn't be back there.
I'm in fact a non-believer if it comes to that.
Oh, well, now I understand why then. You're a non-believer. I'm sorry.
Not at all.
I'm sorry, you're a non-believer.
You can't say just
if
because
you're a non-believer in God, then I understand why you don't care about morals
I believe in my own kind of God, like a lot of people do.
A girl, for instance, would say, I don't see why I should cover my beauty. I'm beautiful. So why should I cover that up? Islam is telling me I should cover up. Aha. That's the point. Let's deal with that one first. There's an A and a B to this. That was A.
So let me finish this one up. If a man chooses to rape a woman, it is not the victim's fault. She can go naked if she wants. It's up to him to follow the law or not. He cannot blame her. End of story.